All right, so I'm going to call the March 10th meeting of the Mount Ascutney. Yes, Elizabeth? Before I call it to order, do you want to?
I just want to take a second and congratulate both Davis and Bill on being reelected.
Yes,
Thank you.
definitely. Okay, so let me call the March 10th Mount Ascutney School Board meeting to order at 6:32 p.m. And I am going to be taking, the first order of business is for me to take nominations and do the election of the chairperson for the board. So, are there any nominations for board chair? Elizabeth?
I'd like to nominate Davis McGraw.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Megan seconds. Are there any other nominations? All right. Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. We'll start with in person.
For discussion.
Oh, did I forget discussion?
We don't have to.
Any discussion before we take a roll call vote?
Davis, do you accept the nomination?
I do, yeah, absolutely. I feel like having done it for a year now, I'm feeling pretty confident about it.
Excellent.
Any other discussion? All right. Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Starting in the room. Megan, how do you vote?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Nancy? Aye. Bill?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
I read her lips.
Aye.
Oh, we didn't hear you. Okay. And Amy?
Aye.
All right, it is unanimous. Davis, you are once again the chair of Mount Ascutney School Board, and you get to take over the meeting now.
Okay, happily, and I appreciate all of your confidence in doing this. It really does mean a lot. So next, I will take nominations for the role of vice chairperson of the Mount Ascutney School District Board.
I nominate Elizabeth.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, discussion. Elizabeth, do you accept the nomination to be the vice chairperson?
I accept the nomination. Thank you.
All right, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I will do a roll call vote, starting with Megan.
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And Elizabeth?
Aye.
All right, and the ayes have it. Elizabeth, congratulations. You are the vice chair of the Mount Ascutney School Board for the 25-26 school year. All right, next I will take nominations for the clerk of the board.
I nominate Megan.
All right, do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, thanks, Bill. Any discussion? Megan, do you accept the nomination to be the clerk of the board?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, I will take a roll call vote, starting with Bill.
Aye.
Elizabeth.
Aye.
Amy.
Aye.
Nancy.
Aye.
Megan.
Aye.
And I am an aye as well. So Megan, congratulations, you're the clerk of the board. Next, I will take a nomination for the signer of the manifest.
That's you, isn't it, Bill? That you've been doing that?
Yeah.
I nominate Bill. Second.
All right. Any further discussion? Bill, do you accept the nomination?
With honor.
All right. Any further discussion? All right. Hearing none, I will take a vote. Megan?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Elizabeth,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
and I am an aye as well. So Bill is our signer of the manifest. And now I will take a nomination for the backup signer of the manifest.
Oh. I nominate Amy.
Right, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
All right.
So Bill, you're never out of town, right?
Never.
Amy, do you accept this nomination?
Since Bill is never out of town, yes, I do.
Any further discussion? All right, moving on. I will take a vote. Megan,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Elizabeth,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
and I am an aye. So he's our backup signer of the manifest. And thank you for being willing to do that. Next, our nomination for the representatives to the SU Bargaining Council. And how, can you just remind me, how many are we doing?
It's been one.
It's always been one. Okay, it's plural here, but I can, so it's a representative to the SU Bargaining Council.
Is that Bill?
Has been.
I nominate Bill.
Second.
Any discussion? Bill, do you accept?
With trepidation.
You said you'd be very good at it.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll take a vote.
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I am an aye, so Bill's our rep to the SU Bargaining Council. After this, we have designations. So these are, I'm just looking at this, designation of the truant officer. Do we know who that has been in the
Yeah,
past?
it's our SRO, Paul.
Or SRO?
Yeah.
Paul, what's
Yeah.
this for?
Paul Favreau.
Paul Favreau?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will take a motion to designate our school resource officer, Paul Favreau, as our truant officer for the Ascutney School District.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, I will take a vote. Megan?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
All right, and I will as well. So Paul Favreau is our truant officer for the next year. Designation of official newspapers, and I did look what, it has Vermont Standard written down, but I believe that they were not designated last year, so I'm going to, if that's okay, I'll omit them, since we have not had them for the last year, and I think that that's discussing more now. I will take a motion to designate the Valley News, the Eagle Times, and VT Digger as the official newspapers of the Ascutney School District.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, I will take a vote. Megan?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I am an aye as well. So we've designated those as our official newspapers. And we are going to designate a representative to the Hartford Area Career and Technology Center.
Was that you, Megan?
Yes, there
Would
is,
you accept that position?
yes.
I nominate Megan.
So this is a motion designation. But I'll motion that. So-
They move.
So I will accept a motion to designate Megan Reed as the representative for the Hartford Area Career and Technology Center.
Oh, second. Oh, I already moved. So moved.
This is Amy. I second.
Excellent. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I will take a vote. Megan?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I am an aye, so Megan, you'll be doing the HACTC for another year. Thanks for doing that. All right, establishment of a regular time, place, date of monthly meeting. So let's take a look. What we've been doing for the past year is, it's easier if I see it off the calendar. I think we'll start from that point and then we can have a discussion.
It's first Monday.
Looks, okay, back here. Yes, it has been first Monday. So I will take a motion to have our Mount Ascutney School District board meetings occur at 6:30 p.m., alternating between the Windsor School in room 210 and the library at Albert Bridge School on the first Monday of each month.
So moved.
Second.
All
This is
right, any
Elizabeth.
discussion? How's that been working for everyone? Do we feel like we want to stick with it?
Sure, why not?
Cool. Excellent. Yeah, I know there's some debate about last year, so I want to leave some room for
Yeah,
that.
I was the one who wanted to change it. Okay, so.
All right. So hearing no further discussion, I will take a vote. Megan?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. So we will stick to the schedule that we established last year. And that would, just to clarify, that would mean that our next meeting would be at Albert Bridge School. We would alternate going from there.
Yeah.
All right.
Bless you, Amy.
Nomination of district treasurer. Can you remind me, who was
I
that?
am,
Oh, you are. All right.
and I've signed everything, so.
Excellent.
Keep
So-
it that way.
All right. So I will nominate Nancy Pedrick to be the district treasurer.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All right. Hearing none, I'll take a vote. Bill?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Megan?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. So Nancy it is. Thanks again for doing that for another year for us. Nomination of district clerk. And I don't know, is Aaron joining us? I think I think he was going to try to, but I know some things he's been able to. So what I will say is that, having spoken to him before, he did seem interested in every conversation I've had in continuing to do this. Worst case scenario, I'd say, is that we nominate him and he declines, and then we'll, just look for somebody new. And we managed to find somebody last year, so I can do it again if I have to, though I'd rather not. So I will nominate Aaron Minard to be the district clerk for the next year.
Second.
Not great. Have a second. Any discussion?
I'd like to know how it went.
As far as I know, it went smoothly. I've chatted with Aaron since it. I mean, I think it was a long day, but I got to, I was at the polls, or outside the polls most of the day, and I got to see him kind of go in and out a couple times. It seemed like it went really smoothly. I will say too, in the lead up to it, he was super on top of it. He asked really great questions of Larry and Christine and myself. I mean, he's, like I said, going to it, Aaron is like an extremely reliable, detail-oriented person. I think he absolutely did a fantastic job, and I would be happy to have him do that again.
Excellent.
All right, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I will take a vote, starting with Bill.
Aye.
Elizabeth.
Aye.
Amy.
Aye.
Nancy.
Aye.
Megan. And I'm an aye as well. So Aaron will be our district clerk for the next year, and I'll let him know that. And then if for some reason he doesn't want to do it, he can decline, and we'll just look for another person. All right, and last but not least in our organization, I will take a motion to adopt Robert's rules for small boards for the Mount Ascutney School District for the coming year.
So moved.
Yep, I think Nancy got the motion there.
Okay.
Second.
All right, seconded. Any discussion? Elizabeth, I'll just ask you to occasionally remind me again when we don't have to do roll call votes. That was one of the, I think, the big things.
Yeah, that's a real revelation actually, is that you can do that.
Yeah, and do you remember the term for that again? Is it like consent votes or something? I can also look that up after too, and I have to burn time talking about it, but that was a cool thing to learn. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I will take a vote, starting with Bill.
Aye.
Elizabeth.
Aye.
Aye.
Nancy.
Aye.
Megan.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well, so we are doing Robert's rules for small boards. All right, reorganization is complete. Thanks to everyone for volunteering, being willing to do those roles again, and for helping to make that just move smoothly along so we can get the rest of the meeting. Item 2 is any changes or additions to the agenda. So do we have any of those? All right, I don't either. Let's see, item 3, approval of the minutes. That is the minutes from February 3rd, 2025. I did have a chance to look them over before. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from February 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
I think Megan got the motion.
Second.
Elizabeth got the second, all right. Any discussion? What I'm starting to say, but I'm trying to keep my discussion to discussion. I did get a chance to look them over and they seem good to me. I don't know if anybody saw anything else, but. All right, if there's no further discussion, I will take a vote. And Elizabeth, is this a place where you can do the voice vote for just unanimous consent?
Yep.
All right, so I will take a voice to approve the minutes from February 3rd, 2025. So all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Nays? All right, it is unanimously approved. Thank you.
Davis,
Yes.
just as an example, this is a place where you could say, unless I hear any objection.
Got it. Yeah, that's the unanimous consent thing. Thank you for that reminder. Okay. So even more, speeds along even more. All right, item 4, public comment on non-agenda items or any announcements.
Nancy, make an announcement about Moss.
And Moss Hedrick is the representative from Windsor High for Poetry Out Loud. She went to the semifinals in Barrie, and she and 4 others are finalists. And it's going to be Friday up in the Flynn Center for all the finalists. And so that was quite an honor.
That is so cool.
This Friday?
Yeah.
What time?
It's
5
the,
o'clock.
it's the 14th. Yeah. And if she wins, then she goes to, or I'm sorry, I apologize. If they win, then they go to Washington to compete in nationals.
This is Friday, the 14th of what?
March.
Oh, March.
This
Oh,
Friday.
oh,
It
fantastic.
was last Friday and this Friday, and she had to, she doesn't write the poetry, she has to pick poems.
Oh, I see.
So she used the poems she did for Windsor in Barrie, that's what everyone did. But they can only use one of those poems and have to learn 2 more just this week. So that's a lot. I just found that out today, so.
Yeah, very exciting. I appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
Elizabeth.
Christina, I saw you had your hand up there.
Shout out the girls, high school girls basketball team is going to the semifinals on Thursday. In Barrie. Yeah,
Very cool.
pretty awesome this year. think that game's at what, 5:30K, is that right?
It's at 5:30. You guys are taking my entire slide, so I'm just going to add in here that the state science fair is on this upcoming Sunday as well, and we are sending 9 students there. So hopefully we'll report back next month all the good news about all these events.
I have a request, and that is that if any of these people or teams win, could you let me know as soon as possible so I could put in a resolution at the State House?
Sure.
It would be pretty
That'd be
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Excellent. Any other public comment or announcements?
I do have one public comment, and that is that Trumi and Josh Compton are coming to the State House this Friday for a special resolution on kids with profound autism.
Thank you for sharing that.
What's that?
So thank you for sharing that, Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think it's pretty exciting.
That is, it's very exciting. All right. Any other public comment or announcements? Hearing none, we will move on to the administrative report. I'll hand over to you, Christine, our lead learners.
All right. Okay. All right, Jennifer is not here tonight. She's traveling back from a conference, so she did create a slide and I told her I would happily present it. So she wanted to let everyone know that even though winter sports started late due to lack of snow this year, they have been able to get to the mountain and out cross-country skiing and snowshoeing a few times. And students were able to also do some cross-country skiing in physical education class. So that was great that they could get out, even though the snow came late. She has invited anyone that is interested to come and observe their afternoon math stations. They have a great way of integrating math into a multi-age approach. So they have different groups in the afternoons and an all hands on deck experience. And so if anybody is interested, she invites observations around 1:30 any afternoon. Lunch with a Loved One was really a success at ABS this year. It was a big turnout and the students, again, had some leadership roles in that activity or that event. Hands-only CPR was taught to their upper grade students this month. And the drought in the classroom are back. The little fish are growing fast, she says. The Student Power Summit, where she is currently, she went with 3 teachers and 1 student went. 2 were supposed to go, but 1 couldn't at the last minute due to illness. So, and they're really considering how to give more ownership to students in the learning process. So it's a summit that I've attended. Jennifer's gone. This is her 3rd year in a row, so it's a pretty powerful summit. And compost is cooking. I think that means the compost is doing what it's supposed to. And things coming up in the near future are the maple unit, which they do sugaring. It's pretty awesome. I saw it last year. BCAP testing starts next week, very early, it feels. And they have a maple celebration March 28th at 12:30. I think everyone is invited to that.
And Elizabeth, you had a hand up for a sec there?
I just wondered where the Student Power Summit was taking place?
This year it's in Ohio. Last year it was Virginia, and the year before that was in Colorado. So he moves it because they tour different schools that are implementing student agency pretty well and creating schedules that work for that. So this year it was Ohio. I can't wait to hear all that they've learned when they return. They're actually driving right now, so they'll be back tonight, later tonight. All right, next slide I think is Tracy.
That's me, yeah. We're also gearing up for VTCAP assessments. Fifth grade science starts the 18th in Windsor, and then every week after that, grades 3, 4 reading next, and math in the end. So we finish up the beginning of April 1st and 2nd to finish those up. We took some time last week. I just feel like that was so long.
I don't know.
I was gonna have to pause there for a minute, just to celebrate STAR scores with the kids, really trying to work on getting them on board with working hard, raising their scores. So we had an all-school little movie about migration that was just such a big hit, and the kids were just amazing. They did such a good job, so that was nice. We also finished up winter in Richmond. And from what I understand, this is the second year of this program, and I just can't believe it's only the second year because of all the great things that happened. But about 80 plus kids were supposed to go ski. We did not make, we had so many Thursday, Sundays, it was unbelievable. And then the late snow. But I didn't hear anyone complaining, right? The kids, they understood there's things we can't control, and the weather's definitely one of them. When they don't ski, they just participate in the events that were here. We also this year had 30 students that went over, or 25 students that went over and went swimming in Claremont. That was a nice addition. And then we have about 70 that stay here and do school-based rotations. It's a rotation of 6 stations, and those were bowling, art, indoor games, musical maestros, STEAM, and makerspace. And then another 6 or 7 that commit to a theater presentation. They stay in that for the 6 weeks. And then last Friday, they presented their ships, their pirate ship. They had a really cute little Leisure Theater type of pirate performance for us. And some pictures to share with you. Even I told Kristen Martin, this is one of my favorite pictures ever. That was that human bowling.
Oh.
She tells me there's a video, but I haven't seen it. So, but a lot of fun. And I just tonight proposed to the PTA about how we might look at having like budgeting some of these things, because some of them are pricey.
Sure.
And maybe allocating some student fundraising money to set aside for that, so that as it comes through. But a great program, and there's an advisory committee, or I guess they call themselves a council, that is made up of anywhere between 5 and 8 teachers, depending on the week, that really coordinates all of the fine details of this. And the last week when we were getting ready to go, we were supposed to leave at 11:30, and at 11 o'clock it is a snowstorm. And I called Christine, I called the bus company. Amber Bennett got on the road to check it out, and we just can't do it. It was too dangerous, but it still is really a wonderful program. And maybe we have to look at timing in the future. We don't seem to get our snow till later. Maybe we need to wait a little bit, but they work so incredibly hard on all the details.
Can I make a comment about this?
Yes.
Just the value in the skiing, even if the kids are not able to go each week, they have, when it does start snowing, those skis are up at the mountain and they can use them on any weekend. So it really does, even if they're not going during the week, there's a lot of kids that use those skis on the weekend.
I did not know that.
That would not normally be able
Nice.
to, so.
I don't feel quite as bad.
Yeah. So it really is a great service and a great addition for a lot of kids that want to.
We were envious how Albert Bridge can walk over.
Yeah.
Thanks. And then the last is just to kind of announce that we have 3 family engagement nights coming up. One in March, one in April, one in May. So STEAM night is on Thursday. It's a new program for us. I would say Tara Custer and Maddie Villa have been amazing. We have Vin's coming, they're bringing some raptors in the theater, they're all welcome. And then in April, it's a math night, and we're trying to make both math and literacy nights kind of make and take nights, that you come in and you learn how to play a game, and we send you home with all the materials that you might need to play those games with your kids at home, trying to reinforce their math and literacy skills. So, and the teachers, I have to give a lot of credit. They're all in and helping plan this, and really excited. I think we have assigned 2 leads for each night, but then there are 7 or 8 teachers that are really committing their time to making these events happen. So we're looking forward to them.
Dinner.
Dinner, we'll have dinner before. Yes, thank you. Dinner before, and they're 4:30 to 6:30. Good. It's good.
Hello. Our VCAP testing is also starting next week, and our students in the middle school will have 2 sessions each week. Our 8th graders have 1 extra session for science in the 3rd week. That's unique to, I believe, our 4th, 8th, and 10th graders. And that is something we will be looking forward to. Last year, our the cooking club worked with the kitchen staff to kind of make a special breakfast on the mornings of some of our VCAT testing days to get the kids pumped up for that morning. Unfortunately, we don't have cooking club right at this time. We have some different clubs, and yeah, so we will do something special for one of those mornings to get our students pumped up for their testing days and help them stay hydrated and getting good sleep. Some of the things coming up for us also is family engagement night, same as the elementary school. We're doing one also this Thursday night with dinner starting at 4:30. Students are sharing some mini presentations and a lot of the recent work they've been doing in classes. Some of those pictures have been in the middle school newsletter and in the admin newsletter. Some of the activities students are doing. Unfortunately, it is a big night for our students in the middle who are looking forward to seeing the high school game. So we might not get the turnout we want, but we will live stream the game so people can also see that on Thursday night, sorry, the 13th. Yep. Some of the other things that we've been looking at is some of our academic celebrations. We did. Oh, one of my pictures is missing here. I think there's another photo on that slide, Christine, but I don't see it. There it is. You can go back one, sorry.
Yep, sorry.
It's okay.
There we go.
The monthly student of the month, our students are recognized by their teachers. We usually have 3 to 6 students with middle school and the ACE classroom being recognized. We have our first semester, and we'll do it again in second semester for honor awards. That's the picture at the bottom. Students who are receiving 3.0 in all their classes. And then one of the other things we've been celebrating is that with January, the return after the vacation, we reviewed all of our 7 habits again with the students doing their own version of video slideshows, videos of the habits and acting them out. And then with our 8th habit, we have finding your voice, and we combine that with Black History Month, and students were doing some research on some Black History Month leaders, Black history leaders, people who shared things that the teachers created a list of famous Americans, persons who had contributing, and our students went off the list and found people that really spoke to them, which was really exciting. We've got some really great posters that the students we're interested in learning about. And that picture on the right is our students doing the walk around room 210, the gallery walk, and checking them out. And those will be also presented on Thursday night this week. Our student leadership team meets every Tuesday. They've been putting together things like they're looking forward to trying to get another dance started. They were helping with the last video creations. They actually just worked on creating a suggestion box in the middle school that they're sharing and want to bring back to their meetings. And they will be planning some end of the year leadership activities. With our data recently, social emotional data, we have had a decrease from November, December data in our behavior, social emotional data, a decrease of 74% referrals for behavior reasons to a decrease of 74% from November, December to January, February. When looking at that data, we categorize some of the things we talk to our students about as major behaviors and minor behaviors. The behaviors went from 37 majors to 13 majors over the November, December to the January, February decrease as well. Also with social emotional data, we have Ms. Richter, our school counselor, whose goal is to universally check in with all of our students. And she has used the same software to log in over 300 counseling sessions with our kids, trying to get a beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year kind of universal check-in with our students. That doesn't include like some regular check-ins she has, but she's using that software as great data points and helpful, as well as what will come up later, our panorama data. And last, middle school transitions. We have Ms. Richter, our school counselor, working with our high school counselors to set up days for our 8th graders to, I think they're going on their first community college field trip this Friday. They've done a Hartford field trip. They will have a few more. They're also going to be meeting with those counselors, going on the trips with the counselors, making some connections for their freshman year, our 8th graders. We also last year set up 2 or 3 transition days, shadow days for our 6th graders coming from Albert Bridge. We will do that again, Jennifer and I and the counselors. And that's what we have going on in the middle school. Elizabeth, you had a question.
I do. Thank you. I wondered whether do teachers ever? I mean, is the behaviors only reported by students, or are they ever reported by teachers?
No, the reports that we get in our school software is teacher reported that I have, as well as support staff reported. Self-reporting, when students share things with us, usually the administrators put that in, log that themselves.
Okay, so do we have any data on the self-reporting?
I don't think that's like a category where we can pull that out easily. We'd have to go back and look at it. But I can look for that data for you. How many students were self-reported that I completed and put into Power School myself?
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see that if you wouldn't mind.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, Kate.
Here I am. We want to welcome Mariah Marsh, who is a Windsor High School grad, and with that hire for the second counseling position for this year, we are fully staffed, which I believe is the first time since 2019 that we are operating at staff.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty exciting. And it's always exciting to hire a Windsor graduate. Our March intensives are coming up, and that's our two of our big trips are there, Costa Rica and Mexico. We also have a lot of local things going on. One of them is a loop around the Upper Valley where students are going to learn about different resources that we have here and different opportunities. There's a couple fun school-based ones, pickleball, Dungeons and Dragons, LARPing. So if you're interested in stopping by, that is a fun week to stop by. There's a ski trip going to Killington also. Next year, we plan on adding a trip to Washington, D.C. out of requests for students for a trip that stays in the United States. A couple of events we have going on. We have the girls playoff. We have the state science fair. Tonight is the GSA movie night. You might be able to pop in and say hi to Becky Woodrum before you leave. It might still be going on. If you end early, you can definitely say hi. Northern Stage, Lauren, a shout out to Lauren Warner. It's just remarkable the amount of opportunities she brings to our school and the amount of opportunities she brings our kids to. Just this month, they had a playwriting workshop with Northern Stage came in, and kids were able to sign up and go to that. And she's also taking them next week to see the play Waitress. The big thing I wanted to talk about this month was some updates to graduation requirements that have come out of our work with proficiency based. They're not major. On that first slide, and I sent you the hard copies, I think, right to your emails. Well, obviously they weren't hard copies because I sent them to your emails, but I sent copies of these to your emails. So we're keeping the same amount of credit requirements for each class graduating. What we wanted to do was revamp capstone and junior seminar. And we wanted to take capstone and make it a senior portfolio. And this is a continuity from the middle school through the high school then, with their senior one being the final celebration. We are doing student-led conferences this April, which is picking up where the middle school left off. And then we want to bump capstone back to their junior year, and it'll be more focused on a career pathway. That's the way a lot of the kids go with it. And we want to up that focus. It would still be the same credit requirements. It would just be a little bit different in the order and in what the final project looked like. The third thing, go ahead, Bill.
So when is their credit requirement going to go away, though?
When you decide it goes away.
We already did, though.
For credits?
Yes.
In policy.
It's in policy.
So I always struggle with the credit requirements and proficiency based and how those things balance out, which is what we're trying to do now. But then things pop up through the proficiency work, like the second one, the financial literacy course, which is coming through the EQS that every student should have this to be a graduate. So I don't know if we want to work on next year changing the credit language, because
Probably not. But we basically what we did is in policy, we don't use credit as a graduation. At the same time, though, it's going to, when we passed that policy, it was in recognition of the fact that the transition was going to take some time.
So I think what we're doing now is a combination, right? You have to reach the proficiency to get the credit, which sounds a little, I mean, it's still credit based, right? And I do struggle with that, and our teachers struggle with that, but that's all the work we've been doing with Bridget.
Right. But eventually, the whole idea is that you have the summative assessments in place. Hello, Nancy.
Yeah, so we are. What's going on?
My machine?
Yeah,
It's Nancy. You just have to be patient. You're set, Nancy? Okay. So
I was moving the screen around. I hit the microphone, sorry.
We have our arts group meeting tomorrow. And that is, I believe, the last group for this year that has to wrap up some work with the state over the proficiency work. And then at the May board meeting, I should be able to share with you, or I can share with you via email before that, the summatives that we have going. So that'll kind of be the next step. And Bridget has led this work with the curriculum instruction in the high school. That was the role that we had asked for last year. And now with her transition, it should be a smooth transition. So the third thing then we're looking at is this financial literacy course, which I think is something that's needed and wanted. And so it wouldn't change the amount of math credits that you need, but it would say in these 3 math credits, a half of them has to come from financial literacy. And the last thing we're looking at is to do a minimum course load pathways for seniors. Currently, there's no minimum course load for seniors. And a lot of our kids are coming into freshman year with 1 or 2 credits, and that's putting them ahead. When you only need 6 credits a year, you're coming in with 2. You're getting ahead, and sometimes seniors need some encouragement to take some more opportunities that will directly impact their pathway, whether to be college or in the trades or into the workforce. And we're hoping to see more students on campus in the second semester. So that should actually say proposal would be for 3 credits per semester for senior year. And if you look on the next page, it's the financial literacy proficiencies and a working document of the senior portfolio.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of work.
Yeah, seriously, thank you.
I wanted to go back to my original slide for a second because I forgot to talk about something. It was noticeable during the science fair winners, especially if you were there in the moment, that the ratio of females to males winners was 7-2. And I have wonderings when we look at things like that, when we see things like that. And Catherine and I went back and looked at the class list, and that matches up with the population that's currently enrolled in the science fair. So that makes sense based on the population.
Thank you, Kate.
Great. I'm gonna finish up the admin report.
Yes.
I just wanted to say out loud that we are thrilled that all our budgets passed on the first try. On Ascutney, Weathersfield, and Heartland, which was, we're really pleased with that. It's a big sigh of relief, actually. So huge thank you to all involved in our communities for supporting our budgets and supporting education. I did learn that as of Friday, 92% of the budgets in the state had passed. That was out of 101 budgets. Some are voted on later in the year. So out of the 101 that were voted on last week, 9 failed. So much better than last year, which really is a testament to the support that public education has in Vermont. And it's a sign that we know we have to transform education, but I think we can take our time to do it right. So just wanted to say that out loud. Legislative session is crossover was last week, crossover was last week. Elizabeth, you can correct me if I'm making mistakes here. I know the governor's proposal of 5 districts is Bill H454, and a 190-page document was shared with some of the details of that plan. I have not read it all. I've read summaries of it, but not all of it. And I've heard that the Senate and the House are working on their own bills on consolidation, so we'll see what the end of the session brings. A lot of unknowns still. Now that we've hired the new Director of Curriculum, Instruction and Assessment and our Director of Student Support Services, we are working on an onboarding plan for them. Currently, our current directors have plans to meet with them to go over, bring them up to speed on logistics and things that are on their kind of job descriptions. Both of them will be able to attend. We have a short admin retreat in the spring, kind of prepare for our summer work. And this year we'll be working on our continuous improvement plans during that time. So they'll be able to attend with us, which is excellent. And they both confirm they can attend our admin summer retreat. So today I was working with Tracy Price on how to onboard our new directors and new staff in general with all of the diversity, equity, and inclusion work we've been doing. How do we bring somebody up to speed on where we're at? And so we haven't quite figured it out, but we're working on it. So that's part of the onboarding. And lastly, you've heard us talk about instructional coaches. We've been trying to build an instructional coach program for the past couple of years, and we've tried it in different ways. This past year, we've had our interventionists, most of our interventionists across the SU, in this role of half-time intervention, half-time instructional coach. The feedback from the people in those roles was, this is too hard, it's too much, we need to be able to focus on either intervention or instructional coaching. So we worked really hard with the people in those positions, our union leadership, and our administrators to come up with a plan that we think will be more effective for next year. So there will be, we've come up with a new title for the role, which is instructional team leader. And those people in those roles will primarily lead our MTSS system, which instructional coaching is part of MTSS, and they'll provide instructional coaching, and we'll let the interventionist just provide intervention. So I think sealed deal. We had a long meeting last week with our union leaders. It just involves, when you're changing what some people do, sometimes you have to riff positions and post them, and we don't want to have to do that. So we've worked collaboratively to get through that. So you'll be hearing from these people. We're building a really strong team across the SU, and Bridget will lead it. She's very excited. She's already worked with many of the people in various roles that kind of are morphing into this. So we think it's going to help really move our universal instruction and our intervention. So I'll keep you posted. We're pretty excited about it. So, and that is the end of the administrative report.
Just one, as item B under the administrative report, substitute pay.
Oh, that should be item for discussion. I think that's in the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't catch that.
It'll come up, right?
Well, I mean, so we're on
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
For discussion, followed by motions if needed. So substitute pay.
Yeah, and Bill, jump in, because this is something that we've been discussing. Raising the amount of substitute pay so that we can attract substitutes and remain competitive. I don't know, Bill, if you want to share any more. I know
Well, one of the big issues is the fact that so often paraeducators have to be asked to substitute, which of course means that what they're supposed to be doing isn't actually getting done. So it's at some point we have to look at a system in which we can actually attract substitutes, and it may be a 2-tier system: one to attract certified teachers, sort of to give an incentive for retired teachers to keep their retired certification, and to be able to come in for a day or half a day, or how much, and act as a substitute. So that's just something that we need to look into, because $125 a day is not pulling anybody in, or many people.
And that's the rate we increased 2 years ago. From what did that come up from again? Just to have an idea of the trajectory.
I think it was 100.
Okay.
I think it was 100 last time, and then it
Yeah.
went to 125. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so 100 a day, and then it's a stipend essentially, right? The way that it's tracked. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you look around the area at places that are hiring people, like fast food restaurants, I mean, you can make more per hour doing that than substitute teaching. So
So is that something, I guess, for next agenda, we might have some numbers to consider?
yeah, we can come back with a number for sure.
Excellent.
Okay.
Does the high school do the substitute a little differently? Do the teachers, I'm just curious.
If they can't find substitutes, which is often the case, high school, well, you can give up a prep and sub for a colleague and be compensated for it. Yeah.
So to be transparent, we do that every day. We have one perma sub that's currently covering a paternity leave, and then we use ourselves to do it.
And that's for lack of other options. Part, we don't have a lot of subs.
Okay.
So yes, so sub pay, I'll put it on for next month for that type of discussion.
And when you consider the what it costs to pay a classroom teacher to give up their prep time, it's pretty significant as opposed to the sub pay as it is right now. Besides the fact is that's not the point of a teacher prep period. That's or a paraeducator supporting a certain type of students that take them away from that, and so it not a cost. We're not saving money by having teachers and paras act as substitutes.
Yep. Yeah, I appreciate that, Bill. I mean, the cost of disruption is probably going to outpace whatever cost we need to get to attract people to actually fill these roles. So that's an important thing to remind folks of. So it sounds like we'll revisit this next month with some numbers that we can think about and, get closer to a decision. Okay. If there's no other items for discussion, and there shouldn't be with that, anything, we are on to 7, which is setting the next agenda. So we're going to continue our items for discussion. We're going to talk about substitute pay. And the one thing I did want to talk about next month is for this coming school year, community dinners. Just started that conversation a couple months earlier. And I think without getting into that now, I think it would be cool if we did 2 next year, but I think we should definitely do at least 1. I had a really great time doing the community dinner with you all. I'm glad we had a really busy night, but that was a super cool thing to do. I think it's been a great way for us to get out there. But again, I'm not going to discuss it now, so we're going to discuss it next month. Prefacing why it's there. Any other items that we need to put on there?
No, we'll have the admin report. I should have the quarterly financials, and I think Tracy's going to do a K-5 student presentation of learning some way.
Awesome.
Next month.
Elizabeth, you have something?
Yeah, I wondered whether we could have a general discussion about bullying in our district.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can put that on our items for discussion.
Thanks.
Of course. The only other thing that we might want to throw on there, and I think we can start talking about this offline, it's mostly scheduling, but when you said retreat, it brought it to mind. I think we want to start thinking about what our district retreat looks like, when we do it, how we want to do it. Because I know last year, I think it was pretty successful. I think the timing was rough for some folks, so I want to make sure that we're avoiding that particular pitfall. So I may reach out because it's scheduling. I might reach out via email to folks. We can start just talking about dates and stuff. But I think as far as the form and structure, we'll want to do that during school board meeting.
Yep. It is in your calendar for June 9th currently.
Okay.
But that can be changed. That using the board work plan for the year, but it's probably in your calendar.
Okay. Yeah. Even if we just like.
But you can change it. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you.
I thought we were asked to maybe consider changing it, so it wasn't the same week as graduation.
Yes, it's the week prior, I think, this year. Kate, when is graduation? Off the top of your head, do you know?
June 6th.
Oh, it is June 6th?
Is that Friday?
June 6th, Friday. Yes, okay. And the retreat is currently scheduled for the Monday after that, but again, put out your feelers for.
Yeah, I think we can just kind of just have a quick check in on that next month, when we've had time set aside. Yeah, that's
You
that's
got
all I got. All right. Item 8, executive session. Do we need an executive session?
No.
I certainly don't need one. All right. And if there is unanimous consent, I will adjourn this meeting of the Mount Ascutney School Board at 7:32 p.m.
You can definitely
Excellent.
come say hi now. The music grew.
All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
And yeah, see you.